How do you know what's working and why, or if it's not working? Dr. V and I get together every week because we hear
Mm.
so many things in the world that are a miracle cure for this or a miracle cure for that. And we want to know, is this really something that is something worth taking the time to learn more about and invest in, or is it just marketing? And so
Right.
we do this talk every week, and we've had so many people say, gosh, I'd love to be there to hear what you guys are talking about. So we're recording it and we're making it available for you guys to do that. Tonight is the metabolic summit that both of us were a part of.
Mhm.
And the topic that Dr. V talked about is what he is the expert, in my opinion, on, and that's headaches. So, Dr. V, I just wanted to share with them a little bit what we talked about when it came to right-sided headaches being the most common one. What would you tell everybody listening out there? They never have to have a headache again, right? That's the most important.
Right.
Yeah.
And the Headache Advantage book is all about DIYs for headaches. And so the two headaches actually that are related to metabolism, right? Metabolic summit, we should probably start by defining what metabolic summit is all about, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it came about because we're now at the January is now over, and people have long since started forgetting about their resolutions to lose weight and all that sort of stuff. So metabolic summit is about stoking metabolism and helping us to function at our best, right? And so that means metabolism is dependent on the thyroid, it's dependent on fat metabolism, it's dependent on keeping toxins out. So the summit is going into a lot of that to help optimize the way that we function, feel, and function. Brain fog, in fact, fits into that. And so the couple of things that I covered in this summit are thyroid, because that regulates metabolism, and then gallbladder. Why does gallbladder sound relevant to metabolism? Well, if we don't digest fats well, then the colon slows down. That slows metabolism. That's going to manifest as that lower abdominal weight, the muffin top, as it's so affectionately called.
Well, and when
uh,
you've got 12 to 15,000 gallbladders being surgically removed every week
Woo,
in this
yeah.
country, you think, okay, there's an opportunity there to help people heal, I think, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And that's why, I mean, I've been on tons of podcasts, and the right side headache is the most common headache. And so of the seven patterns, the right side is the most common. I think a lot of that is because of all the glyphosate that's used in America. That means Roundup. That's the pesticide that's used to spray and kill wheat, corn, soy, and oats right as they harvest, so that they can harvest it all at the same time. It's big business. It's the way that they can streamline things.
I was just reading Dr. Hyman was posting about how amazingly saturated so many foods that we have no idea are
Hmm.
saturated with this glyphosate. He was talking about chicken nuggets at Wendy's and things that you would
Right.
think are healthy, even like this organic mac and cheese, right? So the
Hmm.
glyphosate is a huge problem, obviously, and we have to try to avoid it. But what do you help people do when that's unavoidable, right? To stop the damage.
Right. So we want to bind up those toxins, keep the colon functioning right, keep the gallbladder flowing properly. There's nutrients well, fat metabolism, keeping the omega-3s up, the good fats, that's going to contract that gallbladder and keep it exercising, if you will, moving that bile through so we can get it out of the system first and foremost. Seed oils are all over the press right now. It's processed ultimately is what the problem is, but those processed seed oils will also slow and congest that gallbladder. So between the glyphosate and those toxic, highly heated processed seed oils, those congest that gallbladder. That's why, so like you mentioned, so many people are having to have that thing taken out. In medicine, that's the solution. Oh, God made a mistake and put this congested gallbladder here.
You don't
No,
need it.
it's us sinful humans that make the mistakes.
Oh man, I don't know if I should say this while recording, but I went on one date with a surgeon once, and I asked her, this is a long time ago. I asked her, I said, so how do you determine that you're taking out a gallbladder, right? And she says, oh, I palpate. If it hurts, we take it out. It only takes a few minutes. And I was just like, man, oh man, I told you, it's what I actually said to her. I said, call me next time you have a headache. I'll help you take. It's right. That's the logic. Oh, it hurts. Just
Yeah.
take it out of the body.
Right, right. Yeah, the appendix was put there by accident, all these ancillary organs, right?
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, it's craziness. And that's what we're up against. That's what, people have gotten frustrated with the allopathic model, which is, for us, great for business, so to speak. But,
Sure.
you and I are, trailblazers out, and this all, I mean, we should have started, this all came about because you and I sat down for lunch many years ago and said, wow, this is exciting. We need to do this every week. Like-minded, somebody to, brainstorm all these crazy pathways and so on. It's been fun. So we talked about the gallbladder, keeping the good fats going, which means fish. If you're an A blood type or an AB, you can eat avocado. Those are going to help. The omega-3s, olive oil, a good extra virgin olive oil will help. These things are going to help keep the gallbladder flowing so that we don't have those right-sided headaches. So other physical pains when the gallbladder is dysfunctional is the right-sided knee pain. It can affect hormones because the hormones need that pre-digested need cholesterol to make hormones. So the hormone problems come in there. Incidentally, hormones is a bitemporal headache. But then again,
Got a whole book about it, by the way. Yeah,
by the
we'll get
way,
into that every week.
so
You did
go ahead.
mention, I don't mean to cut you off, but you mentioned blood type. And this is something that I've been meaning to dig in with you because I never have fully embraced this concept.
Mm-hmm.
I've never
Mm-hmm.
fully integrated it in the way that I look at people. I'm always looking at what nutrients are missing. If I'm thinking gallbladder, where's the betaine? Where are the things that are going to keep that liver gallbladder functioning smoothly and removing the things that are inhibiting it? But that's a whole nother level, right, that you bring in. So I think
Right.
we're going to have a whole different episode about that. And by the way, anybody who's listening to this right now, if you have a topic that you have some questions about, this is what we're here for. And
Right
we'd
on.
love to, leave a message.
Comment on the bottom.
Yeah. And we have a monthly mastermind course. Well, not a course, but a group that gets together and we all dissect it. We look at it from different angles, try to see each other's blind spots. So if you have something that I don't know, is that true or not? That's what we're here for. So sorry.
Yeah. And no, we have a great group and we all take turns presenting in that mastermind because we all have things to share. We can all learn from each other.
Yeah, we learned a lot about Ozempic last time.
We did. Yep. Yeah.
Which plays into the Metabolic Summit tonight.
It does. And I think he's presenting in that summit as well, right?
No, I actually talked about Ozempic in the summit.
Okay.
I think he's a part of that one, but I was surprised actually.
Yeah. So stay tuned on the summit for more on Ozempic.
Right.
Right.
Too many things I can say about that. We talked about its effect on dopamine, right?
Yeah.
Most people don't think about it. It crushes people's desire to do things.
Yeah.
Dopamine, I mean, that's where a lot of people get their dopamine hit is from food.
So come back on we'll be posting more on dopamine when we talk about L-Reuteri. And I mean, just think of dopamine is the neurotransmitter of Woodstock, if you will, right? It's the brain chemical of love and bonding. So we love to talk about that one. And really, because we can make the world a better place, right? If everybody had good, proper dopamine, the bonding divorce rate would be less, and
well, oxytocin too, right? We're talking about both of those.
Yeah. Sorry,
kind of keep those in balance. And Rootery is supposed to be, I don't know if you know that, enhancing oxytocin quite a bit.
Oxytocin, yeah, yeah.
Our next episode is definitely gonna be all about Rootery. There's just the claims about it are unbelievable. Increasing testosterone over 50%, increasing muscle mass. I mean, it could go on and on about all these things just from one microbe. So I can't wait for next week because we're gonna totally dissect that one.
Awesome, that'll be a great one. I'll be listening.
Why? Right? Why is it?
Yes. So real quick on the other, I mean, which is going to be I'm sure we'll have 10 of these on thyroid, but so thyroid, again, because we're talking about metabolism, thyroid regulates metabolism. It activates enzymes to stoke digestion, folic acid. That's what, when thyroid's sluggish, gals gain weight, they get depressed, all that sort of stuff. Incidentally, there's a suboccipital headache, which is why, it's a regular subject on my podcasts, is the tension headaches are side effect of underfunctioning thyroid. So again, metabolism, we want to keep that thing working well. That needs folate from our organic vegetables to drive it. It needs methionine from meats and tyrosine, especially tyrosine, and iodine. Iodine comes from kelp, right, and seafood and that sort of stuff. Maybe we have to take it not from iodized salt. So those are things, some of the real basics, very, very superficial 100,000-foot view for the thyroid. But underfunctioning thyroid can cause tension, headaches, which then manifest as sluggish metabolism, depression, weepiness, neck problems because the muscles that support the front of the neck keep the arch proper in the neck. Those muscles get weak when the thyroid's not functioning well. That can eventually lead to then low back L5 disc degeneration. So all these things come into play, and the beauty and what we like to talk about is what the whole pattern looks like, so that then a person comes in seemingly unrelated problems with an L5 disc, low back disc problem and tension headaches. We go, we know what it is.
Yeah, it's likely, it's one of five things, right, that they're missing or more, but you're trying to distill it down to what is the most important thing. If you're going to do one thing about this, and that's where you really excel. And that's why your whole muscle testing technique behind you there is all about figuring out if there's one thing that needs to be removed or one thing that needs to be added that will make the biggest difference. That's our mission, right? Is to help find that thing.
Right.
We want them to do all the things, right?
Right.
We want people to do what they're actually going to do too.
Right. So, well, and it builds confidence in the protocol and in the need, right? When a person recognizes that, well, I've got these 5 symptoms, and they all have a single common thread, and make this change. I mean, that's what really sold me on the blood type diet 25 years ago. I was like, okay, nice guideline. There's all these diets out there, and I'm like, nice guideline, but I need my good fats. I'm racing bicycles. I need avocado, and every time I'd eat avocado, my immune system would crash, or my throat would close. It's like, ooh, that didn't work. So every time I tried to go outside the box, I got this in my face, symptoms that would be associated with eating the quote avoid food. So that led me down that confidence that, hey, there's some reality to this blood type thing.
Awesome. Yeah. See, it's always something else you can learn. There's never an opportunity. You're never going to run out of things to learn about health and well. I mean, it's such a young science, so
hopefully every day patients say, how long did it take you to learn this? It's like, as if I'm done.
Right. Nowhere near. Well, when you stop learning, you stop living, as far as I'm concerned. So
boring.
It's a great world to be in. And that's my cue that we have to wrap this up. Okay.
All right.
A lot more to come. We'll spend more time next time. We'll try to keep it to half an hour. And let us know if there's a topic you want. But next week, it's going to be El Rudery. We're going to get deep into that one. It's going to be fun.
So exciting.